What's going on YouTube? Cap24 here, coming back with a new formation scheme out of the West Coast playbook. As you can see, I got the single back doubles north all queued up, and that's going to be the formation we're going to look at for the rest of this week when we break down the 4 plays. This week we're going to start our videos on Wednesday. We're going to release our full scheme for our website on Saturday. It just got delayed one day as we shifted, as we had some prior obligations earlier in this week. Now, what you're going to see with this formation, it's a really nice opportunity to have this halfback pitch, which is a great one-play type of scoring opportunity if you catch them off guard. And then I really like this halfback ace power as well, as it does a great job of being a little bit of a inside presence run. We're going to use those to really help us out. But what I like to do with this formation is I like to run it flipped. So we're going to start off with this play called X option, and we're going to run this play flipped. So for this play design, we're going to look at how we can make this Y route a really pesky route against all defenses, and especially against their user player as well. What we're going to do is we're going to put the B on a fade, A on a streak, and we're going to motion that Y route over to the left-hand side. Now, when you're playing cloud flats, this is what I like most about this route combination. A lot of times you're going to play over-the-top coverage, which is going to give you the opportunity to throw to the spot route right away underneath. So that is your first option. As everybody gets driven back, the spot route's just going to sit. You're going to throw it to him, and typically speaking, you're going to get about 6, 7, 8 yards when you go ahead and do that and get up the field. That's option number 1 if they're not going to play that route. Option number 2 is actually playmaker him either left or right? So what you want to do here is read their defense, and typically speaking, if they're playing cloud flats, I'm going to playmaker him to the outside, catch this ball, and get a good another 10 to 15 yards. Typically speaking, that's really what I like to do against cover 2 and cover 3 cloud flats, because of the fact that you're going to be throwing underneath the coverage. Now, if you go ahead and do this to the right, you're going to see that you're going to have a nice benefit to where the Y now gets into the hook curl portion over here on the right hand side. When they do that, they'll jump that playmaker route, leaving the X with a possibility of getting open on the right hand side of the field. So you see here, we're going to playmaker him to the right. You can see that we pull coverage, and now we're going to throw this ball underneath that deep safeties in that way. So let me kind of show you what happened there, so you can kind of see it in a little bit of a quicker manner. So you can see here that once we playmakered him to the right, we pulled the hook down. See how we pulled the hook down, leaving our ability to throw it behind him. Now, typically speaking, we want to make sure that we are reading the user. If the user is this player that is on the left linebacker here, we definitely will usually go ahead and playmaker him to the left, making sure that he has to make a decision. Do I follow that player left and leave the post open, or do I go ahead and I stay with that the deep power? Obviously, seeing if this was the situation, we would throw it to him and not playmaker him because he's wide open in the middle of the field. But just for the sake of the video, we playmakered him to the right, pulling that player down and be able to throw it behind him, right? So that's basically why I like to playmaker him to the right, get you that added benefit. Now, what's really also nice about this play design is you also have the ability not to motion this wide receiver, and against cover 3, you'll have the opportunity to have a one-play touchdown to the B receiver. So if you see here, this is a traditional cover 3. What will end up happening is the Y does a good job of pulling down that one corner on the right-hand side, leaving the B open for the one-play score. So you can see that the Y is going to pull that player down, and you're going to be able to bomb this over the top, pass lead it to the right, and get yourself the ability to have the one-play score. Sanu is obviously not a great deep threat. He's got 4 less speed than that free safety, so you can see that was a little bit closer than most of the times it would be, but that's just because of the personnel that we're going against and whatnot. Now, even if you don't motion him, you also have the ability to playmaker him, and we'll just go ahead and show you that real quick. I typically like to playmaker him back to the inside. I feel like it's just a little bit of an easier throw, so we're not throwing away from our player. So you can see we can either throw to him right there when he goes and breaks, or we can go ahead and wait until he gets across the field and get a little bit of yardage that way if we're kind of feeling like that guy's playing that spot route a little bit closer. So that's how it works against cover 3. Now let's go look at cover 2, just kind of show you a little bit of how we should anticipate it. We'll put that player in a deep blue, B on a fade, and we'll put the A on a streak, move this player over, and again, we're going to always look at the Y as the first option. Is he open on the spot? Does he go down? right here we can throw it to him, and we're going to get ourselves to 5 yards. Okay, that's going to be the easy throw. Definitely something that you just want to make sure that you take it when it's there, because it's going to force them to have to play a little bit more underneath coverage with their user, leaving the X route is which we really want to be the one that we want to hit. So let's say here we're going with a deep blue, and we're going to take this middle linebacker and say, you know what, they're going to cover that Y route this time, right? Say that's the user. If he does that, we're going to wait for that guy to come across, and we're going to throw this ball underneath those players. So that's why we kind of basically look at it from a standpoint of what does the user do, and we kind of follow it out that way, right? So let's just go ahead and show you the one more option where we go and we take the player and we playmaker him to the outside or the inside, depending on which way you want to look at it. Here we are, we got this all right there. You're going to see here when he stops, now we're going to playmaker it to the left. You can see that we still got the ability to get some good yards because those cloud flats will back up. Typically speaking, I like to use this type of play design mostly against cover 2 because most people will play your Tampa 2 cloud flats more than anything when it comes to cover 2 as far as the percentages of it, and it kind of works that way. Now with cover 4, you're going to see the same type of success. We'll go ahead and do the same thing. We'll put the B on a fade, move this guy over, A on a streak. And you're going to notice again that we're going to have the same ability to either throw the Y underneath right here, or we can playmaker him to the outside, catch this ball, and get some good yards. So it's just really a pesky play, something to throw in there to get your user to basically have to play that player in some capacity or another. If at all, and they don't want to play that player, they'll end up probably going to underneath coverages, which will definitely limit this play, but it also gives you the ability to open up other plays where there's a C route in this, there's a bunch of corner routes in here, that if they start playing underneath coverage, you're going to have them play right into your scheme. So that's why you kind of use some of these base plays as the ability to get the coverage that you want to set up other plays. So we do appreciate you guys watching this video. Stay tuned in with us for the rest of the week as we bring you some other plays to really build the scheme for you. We appreciate all your support, and we'll catch you tomorrow.